This is the Master Brewers Podcast, brought to you by the Master Brewers Association of the Americas, a volunteer organization dedicated to continually improving the products and processes of our membership since 1887.
Okay, let's go!
Master Brewers brings you interviews with the industry's best and brightest in brewing science, technology, and operations. Okay, so I'm here at the University of Minnesota. It's day 9 of the Master Brewers Brewery Engineering and Utilities course, and I'd like to introduce you to some of my new friends who are attending the course. So if you don't mind, take a minute to let us know who you are.
Hi, Jim Mellum with the Brewery in Southern California, District SoCal. I am Director of Brewing Operations.
Hi, Justin Ang from Acre Brewing Company in Chicago, Illinois, Midwest District, and I'm the Director of Quality Assurance over there.
My name is Jeremy King, and I'm with Castle Danger Brewery up in Two Harbors, Minnesota. I'm the head brewer there, and I got my scholarship from the Minneapolis-St. Paul District.
I'm Stephen Bernard with Hermitage Brewing Company in San Jose, California. I'm the maintenance and engineering hermit, and I got my scholarship from District NorCal.
Mike Perine from Real Ale Brewing Company, Blanco, Texas, brewer. Got my scholarship, or got my brew engineering utilities scholarship through MBAA.
Mike, how long did it take you to get your scholarship? Did you have to jump through a lot of different hoops to apply, or was it pretty easy?
Well, the first one, I wrote a piss poor letter, and then the second time I realized I needed to focus and really just get some good descriptions in there and prove to the MBAA District Texas that I deserved it. So I'm fortunate that I'm here right now and doing it.
Jeremy, how about you? A lot of hoops, or was it easy?
It was pretty straightforward. All I had to do was send an email off and just explain what it is that I want to do with this course.
Jim?
Really easy. All I had to do was just write a simple one-page essay on what I intended to learn and provide some references to prove I wasn't a total hoodlum, and it was that straightforward.
Great. Now, out of the folks we have here on scholarship, one of them received a scholarship from the Master Brewers Mothership, whereas the rest of us here are on district scholarship. So if you don't mind, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience applying for the scholarship from headquarters?
It was really easy. I've looked at this scholarship before in the past, but I was never really qualified because I didn't have my 5 years experience in the industry. So this year was the 5th year I was in the industry, so decided to apply for it. Again, same thing. I had to write an essay about myself and my intent, and what I'm going to do with this education. But yeah, it was really simple and no hoops, nothing.
Great. How much you get?
Full covered for the tuition, which includes room and board.
Same with me, full coverage, so it was great.
I received $3,000, which was everything the district received.
I got full coverage, so.
Full coverage as well.
Excellent. Great. Do you think any of you guys, would you have attended this course if you hadn't had the opportunity to get the scholarship?
I work at a pretty small brewer, and we do support employee education, but it would have been a lot harder to push through.
I would actually, I would recommend it, especially for startups and people just getting into it. It's been really good so far.
I would have. I was prepared to pay for this myself. I just got lucky.
My workplace would have paid for half of it if I wanted to go, but it would have been a lot harder to sell me being gone for 2 weeks if I didn't just say, hey, I got a scholarship, so I'm going.
Yeah, my workplace, Real Ale, is definitely supportive of advanced education. They're actually paying for me to go to the Brewing and Malting Sciences in a couple weeks in Madison. But yeah, this course is inspiring, and it really is also humbling as well, because I need to focus on things that I know and definitely don't know. And it's really cool working or being around all these guys because they're very informative.
That's great. For those of you other than Mike who didn't have to choose between multiple courses, it sounds like he's going to both. Why did you choose this particular course?
We do a lot of contract brews, and some of the breweries that start off contracting eventually open their own facilities. And a lot of times they come and pick my brain about how to set things up and how to do things, and I don't want to tell them the wrong thing.
My brewery right now is looking at expanding. Our growth has been very large, and in the process of expanding, we're going to be building a packaging hall and also revamping the brewery itself. So a lot of the principles in this particular course are directly applicable to what we're doing.
I have no background in engineering and utilities, so this is a course that just would allow me to get a formal education in that and kind of round out my full brewing education and knowledge.
That's great. And Jim, I know you've got extensive experience at Sierra Nevada, but I don't believe you were in an engineering type of role there, weren't you? You were in quality, right? Yeah.
Yeah, now I work for a much smaller organization where you have to wear a lot of hats, and this was a shadow in my education, and it's been really informative, at least the first week and a half. So
That's great. How do you think that this course is going to change your typical workday at the brewery?
I really hope to bring a lot of the knowledge I learned here back to the guys. Just have a better understanding of pumps, valves, how are we using utilities effectively, where we can save money. A lot of the stuff in this course is really the real nuts and bolts of running your brewery better, not from a taste side, but from a utility side.
Yeah, I'd like to second that too. I think we're all going to bring this information back to our employees and teach them teach them what we learned here, just so everybody has a little bit better eyes on things such as utilities and being a little bit more efficient with their work and time.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. We're going to go back to the brewery, make a couple of changes, and we'll just run more efficient.
Well, instead of scratching my head and saying, gee, I think that pipe's too small, I can figure out exactly how big it should be and, go from there.
Yeah, Jim kind of pinpointed it, but also it's we kind of share a lot of responsibilities at Real Ale, but at the same time it's like developing more of a specialization roles throughout the brewery, and I think each of these days has provided like valuable information to go tell each or inform like each department that or give them the proper information to do their job more, I guess, efficiently.
Jeremy, what's the most interesting thing you've learned so far from this course?
I think the staggering number of mistakes that that were made during building, but also that the relative ease at which we can go back and actually retrofit and change things.
Yeah, I would agree, and also agree with what Mike said earlier, that it was incredibly humbling just to talk to these guys, and the people who've been presenting have been working in the industry, in their respective industry, for about 30 years, and we are trying to get a sliver of their knowledge. So any of that stuff helps and really, really is helpful.
I totally agree. The speaker's been really great. There's people here from the very large breweries, which are great resources, mid-sized, large craft, small craft brew pub, and even some equipment manufacturers. So you get a whole range of pretty much everybody.
What was the question again?
What's the most interesting thing you've learned thus far?
It's definitely different applications, but it's been really interesting on that really struck was when the Crohn's was talking about Crohn's, and also Zeman were talking about finishing stainless, and how if you do operations and you have rake repairs, how you change the composition of metals and really do inspections. And because we've had an issue with the CIP pipe, and we have to go back and revisit that just to make sure we don't get any corrosion in the future. And it's really just applications like that. Like I'm trying to relate to certain applications at the brewery of things we can perform better, or if not, have preventative maintenance and proactive in the future.
Great. Jim, which course topic has been the most beneficial to you so far, would you say?
We're glycol, just because next year we plan on doing a glycol expansion, a little bit of a modernization. So it's real practical things I can take home, work with equipment vendors, and have some little bit of knowledge in the game. So when they start talking numbers to me, I can go, yeah, that makes sense. No, that doesn't make sense, and kind of have a better dialogue.
Anybody else have a topic that's been really impactful?
I agree with the glycol, but I think across the board, the whole thing filled in a lot of little gaps that I just didn't know quite as much about as I'd like to.
Great. So, what do you guys think attending this course will ultimately do for your own career personally?
Yeah, like I said before, I think it's just going to round me out a lot more. I've been really involved with the science side, but now understanding some of the engineering, mechanical side, I could definitely just be able to wear a lot of hats in the brewery a little bit more confidently.
Yeah, you're always trying to make a better beer. And if you're spending less time worrying about utilities, worrying about maintenance, and more time just focused on the product, you're going to make a better beer. So that's what I'm taking back.
Great. Well, so you guys have a few more days of class remaining, and then after that, you'll have ongoing access to course materials and updates and Q&A with the instructors via the Master Brewers community, and all of the new materials that are added to the course in subsequent years as we continue to offer this course. So I just want to say congrats on being awarded your scholarships. Thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with me about them, and best of luck with the rest of the course. Thanks a lot, guys.
Rad, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Learn more about Master Brewers scholarship opportunities at mbaa.com/education/scholarships. Next week in episode 11, Scott Helstead joins us to talk about the use of functional carbohydrate to positively impact the sensory characteristics of beer.
Calm down, I'm moving too fast.
Based upon some work that Cargill's been doing in food applications with the sugar trehalose, how it impacts some of the sensory characteristics, bitterness, alcohol burn, and some things to kind of ameliorate it, we thought it would have a great application in beer.
Like that one day when we came around there.